Hey there, my fellow cheapskates, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and we are very proud to introduce you guys our introduction video for our Anarchy Road Necromunda campaign. So as you can see here, we have all 6 gangs that will be participating in this campaign setting. And this video is to introduce you guys to the campaign, as well as to the 6 gangs that will be participating in it as well. So as you can see here, all the gangs have now been fully completed, their vehicles have all been painted up, and now it's time to talk about exactly what they'll be doing. So this series, Anarchy Road, it is a campaign that we are using on this channel with a homegrown and homemade rule set. We call it Necromunda Road Wars. You can find those campaign rules in my blogger websites. I do have those rules available for you to download. You can use them to make your own campaign, your own Road Wars campaign if you want to from Necromunda. And basically, in case you're not aware what it is, this campaign will be set in the ash wastes of Necromunda. So for those of you guys who are unaware, the planet of Necromunda has hive cities all over it. Hive Primus, where the main story of the Underhive takes place for Necromunda, is where all the gangs operate at. Well, around these hive cities is a burnt-out, blasted wasteland known as the Ash Waste. That's full of toxic ooze and industrial pollution. And in these ash wastes, what ends up happening is that the guilds, of course, have to travel across the highways through the ash waste to other private cities, so that way they can conduct business and conduct trade on Necromunda. And in the ash waste, of course, you have gangs that exist out there. Sometimes these gangs are nomads that live out there and they call the ash waste home. Some of them are police officers trying to keep law and order on the highways. Some are mutants and cults that have escaped. Some are just criminals or trying to escape the law itself from the Underhive. And so that is the setting that we'll be taking place in. So this campaign is a little bit different because it's a vehicle-based campaign. Because to survive in the ash waste, you need to have a vehicle. And that's one of the things that's cool about it. Your gang has to stay mobile and lethal, and they have to basically travel around and raid and steal and pillage in order to survive. And so that's the campaign setting that we've created. Unfortunately, Games Workshop has not created any rules of including vehicles or the ash waste at all in their campaign rules set as of now. So because of that, we had to make our own rules, and that's exactly what we're doing for this one. I will warn you guys, I have not play tested my own campaign setting rules. I don't know exactly what kind of weird, things might happen with that, with some rule conflictions or anything like that. So I will warn you guys now. We'll see if there's any problems as we play the campaign. But as you can see here, that is the Battle Report series that we'll be doing every other Monday during our science fiction weeks on Necro-Mondays. We'll be doing Anarchy Road. And I am super excited to get this one going. So as you can see here, we now have 6 gangs that will be participating in the campaign. Originally, I started off with 4 gangs, but 2 more of my friends really wanted to play into it. So I was like, yeah, no problem. You guys can join up with the campaign. So because of that, now we have 6 gangs that will be participating. And as you can see here, their vehicles look all kinds of awesome. They look all messed up and Mad Maxy looking. Looks absolutely insane, some of the stuff they're coming up with. They look all kinds of cool. Now, some of these gangs, of course, have already established rules with the rule books. Some of these gangs do not, and we've written rules for those gangs. I really like this Ash Nomad gang. This looks really, really cool. And so we'll be talking about those today. So let's go ahead and start off with the gangs over on the left-hand side. So once again, Precinct 13, our Paladin Enforcers gang, is making a return for this campaign. These guys will be known as a Main Force Patrol, or MFP gang. They're basically like Paladin Enforcers, except that they drive the highways of the Ash Wastes and bring law and order to the White Line Nightmares, which is the Ash Wastes. So once again, my friend Sarah, she will be playing these guys as well. She loves playing Enforcers. As you can see there, they're mounted up in 2 vehicles as well to bring law and order on the mean streets. So I'm looking forward to see exactly how these guys perform on the battlefield. Once again, my friend Screw the Emo is also participating in this one. He's bringing, once again, the Red Faction, a Gene Stealer cult gang. And so this one's kind of neat because the Gene Stealer cults have some pretty cool vehicles. They have a Rock Crusher, Goliath Rock Crusher, I think is what it's called. That's what this truck here is. It's all kit out to kill. And he's got his crew members on board. Now, if you're wondering what's up with this little sedan-looking luxury car vehicle, if you're wondering what's up with that, if you may not know this, but 20 years ago, when Gene Stealers were first coming out onto Warhammer 40k, one of the original gangs you could play, of course, were Gene Stealer cultists. They're called Gene Stealer cults, and they actually had these line of miniatures. I think that was for the 3rd or 4th edition Warhammer 40k, I think. But anyways, in the promotional materials, they showed the gangs, these cultists driving around these limos. That's what they had. So you can see here we took this old caddy here that we got at the local grocery store, and we painted it up to make it look like it's a messed up, dirty limousine. As you can see here, the gang leaders will drive around that vehicle as well. So that's the gang that my friend Screw with Emo will be playing. Now we move on to what's one of the coolest looking gangs that we have. This gang here is called these guys are an Ash Waste Nomad gang. They're called the War Boys, that's what they're called. They'll be played by our friend Brother Grimm. And rules for Ash Waste Nomads do not exist yet in Games Workshop, so we had to make our own rules. And so because of that, my friend wanted to play orcs because he thought they would look really, really cool on the highway. So you can see here we got 3 war bikes. You can see that the orcs have like this white war paint motif going on, kind of like the war boys from Mad Max. We also got a Death Killer war trike on the back, where we have the leader, Zogwarp, the World Killer. In the back there, that's the leader of the war band, the leader of the gang, and of course you got his guys here. They have noticed we have a couple of guys who are on foot, and the reason why is because if you notice this guy with the double barrel shotgun, he's modeled to look like this guy here with the giant claw with the harpoon gun, because he's supposed to represent the dismounted version of that guy. And same thing with our little punks here on the top, because you got little gobos here on the top here with our boarding pikes in the back of these bikes. That's going to be these guys here on the ground when they mount on vehicles. And of course you got the riders of the bikes. You have the dismounted versions of them. So I wonder why that's the case. That's the situation there. My buddy Brother Grimm will be playing this really cool gang, so I'm really looking forward to see how these guys perform as well. I just like this idea of like the polecats, these guys boarding vehicles, the little gobos who are insane. It looks really, really cool. Then we have my gang. My gang is here in the center. This is a House Orlok gang. This is the jury of House Orlok. You see I got my pimped out orc truck that I kind of converted over to make it look like a gang truck being driven by Orloks, which is appropriate for this campaign simply because House Orlok is known for having road gangs or road crews that patrol the Ash Waste. They talk about it quite a bit in the lore of the current edition of Necromunda. So that's why these guys will be cutting their teeth doing that. So this is just one of the road crews that they have. And of course, I named the jury after my old Caldor gang because I'm a sentimentalist. I've always liked my gang's names and their characters, so I just continue on, just made them for House Orlok now. It's going to sound kind of stupid, but I've never really played House Orlok back during the classic edition of Necromunda for one simple reason, and I'm going to sound very shallow for saying this, but I thought their miniatures looked kind of wimpy back in the day. I didn't like the way that the aesthetic for the Orloks looked back in the mid-90s when the first Necromunda first came out, so that's why I didn't play them. I was kind of shallow that way. I went with Caldor because the Caldor guys look so much cooler, but now, because the Orlok guys look really cool now, their miniatures look really super awesome. I like the way they look now, so that's why I'm playing an Orlok gang now, because they look really cool at Mad Max. I mean, look at them, they're wearing sleeveless leather vests with shoulder pads, like Mad Max, so, you know, I'm all about post-apocalyptic movies and stuff like that, so that's the gang I will be playing. And this guy here is supposed to be the dismounted version of the guy who's up here in the little crow's nest. So if you're wondering why I'm doing that, that's the situation there. Our next gang after that is called the Road Crew. It's the name of this group here. This is a pit slave gang. And as you can see here, the rules for pit slaves do not exist yet in Necromunda. But that is perfectly fine because I wrote up some rules for these guys for the campaign setting. So you see we got a little pit fighter back here as well. We have a boss that's leading us, basically just an orc cyborg that we just painted with human flesh tones, make it look like the leader. And we notice this vehicle is covered up in tools. And the reason why is because supposed to represent these guys are salvagers, and they go around and they take bits and pieces of vehicle, machinery, cybernetics, and stuff to keep themselves operating because they're on the run. In case you aren't familiar with what pit slaves are, in the setting of Necromunda, pit slaves are human beings who've been enhanced cybernetically for a variety of reasons. They can be used for, you know, labor, to make them better at labor, but most of the time, though, they're used as gladiatorial combat. That's what they're used for. Most of the time, they're criminals who've been gone through this process to entertain mobs of people as they watch them kill each other. So, and sometimes these gangs, you know, people escape from that life and they form up gangs and they live on the ash wastes. So that's who these guys are. So this is the Road Crew. As you notice, we also have one of our servitors here that we use for our servitor from the Underhigh Wars. This character here will be like a pit slave mounted on a small vehicle, like a motorcycle or something, so you can keep track of the rest of the gang. And of course, we have the Techno, which is a human slave who maintains the pit slave gangs, and should be running around in this armored sentinel that we painted up. Made it look all cool with the teal color and the missile launcher and stuff, and the last cannon. That thing's going to destroy vehicles and manage to get the shot off. So this is probably one of the most deadly vehicles that we have in the campaign right now, because it's got a last cannon attached to it. So it looks really cool. We got boomsticks and boarding pikes on these vehicles, so really cool about that. And last but not least, well, maybe least, we have a Scavy gang. So Scavies have not returned in Necromunda in their current settings, so I am kind of sad about that. But that's perfectly fine, because we decided to write rules for a Scavy gang. We play by our friend Odeth, and he is playing the People Eaters. It is a Scavy gang that's mounted in a super heavy transport. So they have one large vehicle where the entire gang is loaded up on, and that's what they use. This vehicle is actually kind of cool to make. It's made up of an M1 Abrams chassis that I got at a garage sale with some Orc Mech Boy scenery pieces attached to it to make it look like it's all, you know, like it's a wagon that runs around and just steals stuff, and they cannibalize things, and they also eat people. Interesting rules. I've also included rules for them to be able to eat people as well. And if they do so, they gain enhanced abilities for the next battle, but they do if they decide to do that. So that's, once again, the rules pack. If you want to take a look at that. They also got some plague zombies in the back as well that you can use to tool around. And if you wonder what these are in the back here, these are mutant hounds that are allowed in Scavy gangs. We gave them a subclass of fighter called hounds, and yes, they can be mutated as well. These are, I think they're called chimeras or something like that, from Dark Eldar chimeras or something like that. I forgot what they're called. But we use these for our chimerics miniatures for our Necromunda campaign, the Underhive Wars. But now they're being repurposed as mutant hounds serving the Scavies. And so we have that gang as well. Most of these vehicles are made out of like toys and spare miniatures kits that I was able to get at garage sales and stuff. And then some of it, of course, is just, you know, Warhammer 40,000 vehicles as well. We got some toys. Either way you look at it, though, it looks awesome and awe-inspiring. And there you guys have it. These will be the 6 gangs that will be participating in Anarchy Road. And once again, we will be starting those battle reports week after next. We'll be doing these every other week, alternating on our sci-fi weeks every Monday with Necro-Mondays. Sorry about that, my chair is creaking really, really bad in my office chair. But anyways, there you have it, you guys. These are the gangs. So that's going to conclude this introduction campaign video for Anarchy Road. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is always available to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as Blogger.com, especially Blogger.com if you want to get the campaign rules for yourself for you guys to make your own vehicle-based Necromunda campaign. And if you guys end up using those rules and you decide to do battle reports with it, you know, link me to it and send me a message, because I would like to see what kind of conversions and stuff you guys come up with as well. Hopefully, if we cause enough buzz on the internet, Games Workshop will release an official rules pack for vehicles. That would be all kinds of awesome. But until then, though, this will just have to do. So there you go, guys. Rev it up for Anarchy Road. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you guys later. Stay classy, shiny, and chrome. Peace out, you guys.